Decay birds. Looking at the birds, you may not always notice birds, but they're all over the place, in the yard, by the seashore, in the city. If you become a bird watcher, soon you'll begin to learn all kinds of things about birds, how they feed, how they fly, and the different sounds they make. House sparrow. This busy bird is found in backyards and cities across the world. You can recognize the male by its brown, black, and gray crown and his black bib. When watching birds, wear dull colors so you don't stand out much from the backyard. Birds come in many shapes and sizes, but there's things that unite them. All birds are covered in feathers for warmth. They have two wings, although not all birds can fly. All birds have beaks and they lay eggs, and their feet are covered in small scales. See, they have long, sharp beaks, good for finding food and soil. Birds have many feathers. A bird's lightweight beak is made of horny material and it's very strong. The starling has a big keel or breastbone. The powerful muscles that make the wings beat are attached to this bone. Here's a starling without skin. You have lots of bones under your skin too, but a bird's bone contains many air spaces. These make the bones light for flying. A bird has very long legs, so what it looks like its knees are really its ankles. There are about 10,000 species of bird, and each one has its own special features. You can identify a starling by its shiny black feathers mixed with a purple or green sheen. In winter, its feathers are speckled white. Bird beaks. Birds have no hands, so they use their beaks to preen or build nests or pick up or tear up food. Different beaks are suited to eating different foods. Many ducks feed by dabbling. They open and shut their beaks to take in water and strain out food. Goshawks are meat eaters. They have strong hooked beaks for tearing apart flesh. The greenfinch is a seed eater, so its short, thick beak is strong enough to crack open hard seeds. Birds may use their feet for perching in trees, running, or swimming. Some birds use their feet to catch prey. Many birds that live in lakes and rivers have webbed feet for padding. The feet of birds of prey have long claws for gripping their prey. Perching birds have one toe that points backwards to grasp the branches. Feathered friends. Birds are the only animals with feathers. A large bird, such as a swan, may have more than 25,000 feathers, and even a tiny hummingbird has almost 1,000. Feathers keep birds warm and dry and allow them to fly. A bird's feathers come in many beautiful colors and shapes. Primary feathers provide the main power for flying. This allula prevents stalling and flying. The kestrel's unusually large allula lets it fly well at low speeds. Coverts cover the base of other feathers, making a smooth surface for air to flow over. Secondary feathers are curved to make airflow up under the wing, lifting the bird. Kestrel wing. Here are some feathers that make up a kestrel wing. You can see the wing in action on the opposite page. Feathers grow from a central hollow rod called a quill. A kestrel uses its long wing and tail feathers for flying. As it beats its wing up and down, the kestrel spreads its feathers out to press against the air. Like all birds, it has other feathers that are not used for flying. Smaller feathers cover up the rest of the body, making it waterproof and windproof. Fluffy down feathers underneath keep the bird warm. Tail feathers act as a rudder for steering. They can also be lowered and spread out to act as a brake. A cormorant squeezes the air out of its feathers so it can dive and travel underwater more easily in search of fish. Afterward, it spends a long time with its wings spread, drying them out. Start collecting any feathers that you find in the yard, on the beach, or in the woods. Fix them to a paper with tape or put them in clear plastic wallets. Make notes about where and when you find them, and as many labels as possible. Soft fringes on the edges of an owl's feather muffle any noise made in flight, but as it approaches the mouse. The down on the base of a buzzard's coverts keep it warm. taking into the air. A bird stays in the air by flapping its wings. As it pulls its wings down, the feathers push against the air, moving the bird up and forward. Pigeons are powerful and speedy flyers. They're good at taking off in a hurry and can fly many hours without a break. Some pigeons are specifically trained for racing. You can recognize racing pigeons because they often have rings around their legs, showing who they belong to. The feathers twist to let air through the wings as they rise. The wings of the city pigeon are as high as they will go, and the feathers spread far apart. As the pigeon pulls its wing downwards, the feathers flatten out to make a single surface. The feathers separate as the wings begin to rise again. They start to flick upward, ready for the next beat of the wing. The owl springs into air with a kick of its feet. Silent flights. Compared to the pigeon, the barn owl has broad wings and a slow, silent flight. It flaps its way over fields and hedges, watching and listening for small animals. Because it's so quiet, it can swoop onto prey without giving itself away. When the owl spots a mouse or vole, it starts to drop, using its wings as brakes, as it swings its legs down. Legs and feet are extended, ready to seize the prey. Landing safely is an important part of flying. The bird has to slow down at just the right time so that way it drops gently to the ground. Young birds have to practice this before they can land properly.